Hey, buddy. He is really coming on nice. Look at that guy. This is Paintball. Hey, Paintball. Look at it.
Little boy.
Handsome dude. Hey, Paintball. Say hey to the world. He's just soaking it in.
I don't see snacks.
Soaking it in.
Are snacks involved?
So this is our up and coming stud, you guys. He is sired by the 30-pound Wonder Boy, our boy Blue Smoke, and he is out of our girl Rain. Now Rain is over here in jail, you guys. She is such a disruptor. And so we've got her over here in jail. Otherwise she'd be on the table with Paintball. Now she's just there for a little bit, so don't hate me because I have a dog kennel and I've got a dog in there. Hey, buddy. But this is Paintball. We have kept Paintball out of Rain's litter, and it was an exceptional litter. She had 7 babies, and there were 5 males and 2 females, and Paintball is our keeper. Now, my wife comes up with these amazing names. The entire litter she named after dances. We had Floss and Tango and Cha-Cha.
This one was Calypso.
This was Calypso, yeah. This boy here was Calypso. But I don't know, man. I like unique names, so I trumped the name Calypso with Paintball. So if you guys don't like the name Paintball, you got me to blame. You can throw mud at me, man, or rotten tomatoes, whatever. But this boy is one of our future miniature English Bulldog studs. Now, he is out of Smoke. Smoke is only 30 pounds, guys. We're going to have to bring Smoke in here so that you guys can see him. He's truly a tabletop bulldog. If you see Paintball and you like what you see, go check out our website, iambulldognation.com. That's iambulldognation. Because we do have Paintball's littermate brother available. His name is Floss, and he is shown on our website. And of course, you can see more video of Floss right here on our channel, I Am Bulldog Nation. So just so you guys know, okay, Paintball, falling down on the job. Just so you guys know, we are here every Thursday night, right here on TikTok and YouTube as well, at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, to answer questions that you guys might have. And I always have to have a co-host, and usually that co-host is short, pudgy, and full of wrinkles. Oh, and it's got 4 legs too, in case you've got any people in mind. But yeah, Paintball's here. He's here to help guide us through this. He's a gorgeous Merle. He has 1 blue eye, 1 brown eye.
Oh, it's actually green.
Okay, so one blue and 1 green.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm a tad colorblind, telling green from blue. But yeah, he's handsome. He's our keeper. But we have a boy just as nice as him on our website. Go check him out. iambulldognation.com. Yeah, this litter was spectacular. So on with the questions. I'm going to hand the camera over to you, honey.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great evening and that you had a fabulous day.
Sure. Welcome. I am Bulldog Nation. I'm Mike Tucker. The videographer is the lovely Miss Eva, my wife of almost 37 years. And if you saw a picture of her, you'd go, there's no way that you could be married to that girl for 37 years. Well, we got married when she was 7. That's why she looks so young. So, yeah, questions, honey.
Yeah.
It's Thursday night Q&A here at I Am Bulldog Nation.
Right. So,
and I'm here to help. So if you guys have any questions in the future, if you have any questions tonight, fire away. I'll do my best. If I don't know the answer, I promise I won't BS you. I'll just say, I don't know.
All right. Well, the first question is, are bulldogs good with children?
Are bulldogs good with children? My goodness. Bulldogs are amazing with children. So we had this bulldog about 15 to 20 years ago. In that time frame, his name was Diesel. And if you look around our house, we have pictures of Diesel on the wall. I mean, guys, she will put pictures of Diesel on the wall and won't put up pictures of me. Diesel was like her child. And we have an urn here with ashes of Diesel over here on our entertainment center. And we had 4 kids, Eva and I, and they were all within a 6-year span of time. So we were very busy there for 5 or 6 years. Now they've all grown and gone. We had 2 girls and 2 boys, and they've all grown and gone. But during that time, we've been breeding bulldogs for 27 years now. And during that time, we had this boy, bulldog, a male named Diesel. And he made such an impression. I'll tell you, one time, so our youngest son, Christian, and like I say, we are empty nesters now. So all of our kids have grown and gone. We now actually have 3 grandkids. And so we're what you call empty nesters, except our nest isn't completely empty because we have these bulldogs and a few French bulldogs. And so, long story short, Christian grew up and he moved away. He went into the Navy, actually. And one time he called me. We were just talking. He was in the Navy. He was stationed up in the Great Lakes area of the United States. And he's like, Dad, man, I really miss Diesel. And I was like, oh, yeah, Christian, I get it. You know, he was just, I thought it was just, you know, making conversation there. And I'm like, yeah, Diesel's cool, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, Dad, I really miss Diesel, you know. And just the emotion that he shared with that. First, I wish he had said it with that much emotion about me. You know, Dad, I really miss you. I really miss Mom. But no, he didn't do that. He was true to his word and said he really missed Diesel. And it just got me to thinking, you guys, how much these bulldogs affect families, and they especially affect children, you see, because Diesel lived to be over 11. And so, you know, by the way, the age of our bulldogs, because we've bred these dogs exclusively from day one, health is our number one priority. Now, Mother Nature can and will still throw a curveball, but doggone it, honey, we've been breeding for 27 years and we've bred for a healthier bulldog from day one. When we first dipped our toe into the breeding bulldogs, everyone said, hey, be careful, these English bulldogs, they're unhealthy. They're actually the most unhealthy bulldog, or they're the most unhealthy dog on the planet. And that's what everybody said. And I was like, well, if that's the case, why do we keep kicking the can and just talking about the problem? Why don't we try to fix the problem? So our number one ambition, and if you talk to my wife, Eva, she'll tell you, I try to fix problems. Sometimes to the point of being annoying, right, guys? Like, she has these days where she just shares her problems and her issues, and I just want to solve the problem. And she's like, Mike, I don't want to hear the answer. I don't want you to solve the problem. I just want to listen. Well, with the Bulldogs, I jumped in, and we had a very stringent selection process with our Bulldogs, and in that journey, we ended up with a much healthier Bulldog than average. But anyway, back to the story with my son Christian. He's like, Dad, I really miss Diesel. And it just caused me to think, well, Diesel was here in his life for 10 years, guys. So our kids are typically with us in our home for what? 18, 19, 20 years before they go off to college or pursue the military or do whatever they begin to do big boy and big girl things in the world, right? So half of Christian's life, Diesel was in it. And it's like, yeah, so the question is, are bulldogs great with kids? Do they do well with kids? Yes, they do fantastic. Bulldogs are one of the few breeds. They're in the non-sporting category with the AKC. They're one of the few breeds that are bred, you guys, specifically as a companion dog. And they just bond really well with kids. They're lighthearted, they're jovial, they're goofballs, kind of like kids, right? And so, yes, they do well. They do fantastic with children. I have heard some stories that once bulldogs grow up, some of them, a very rare few, have had, grouchy temperaments towards not just kids, but everybody. And I don't blame the breed for that, you guys. To me, I question the owner, because so many times owners don't recognize that dogs by nature are a pack animal and they're looking for leadership. And if you don't establish yourself as the pack leader, the bulldog will assume that he's the pack leader. And if he's the pack leader, he's bossing everybody around. That's how the hierarchy in a dog community works. They don't understand, like in the military, oh, he's a colonel, I have to salute him. Or at school, that's a teacher. I speak to a teacher differently than I do my peers, the other fellow students, or at least that's the way it should be in school. Nowadays, I hear there's a breakdown in the communication, but that's a different topic for a different day. But bulldogs understand pack hierarchy, and if you don't establish yourself as the pack leader, you can't have problems in your home. All of these guys here understand that I'm the big kahuna here, I'm the El Jefe, I'm the pack leader, and everybody just falls in line. Well, Eva is one tier up from me, so yeah, we all fall in line with the pack leaders. So yeah, they do make great dogs for kids, the best dogs, really, over time, because, honey, we've had a lot of different breeds, we've just always been dog lovers. Bulldogs are our love because of that. They do so well with kids. And if you ask anybody in our county here, right here in the county that we live in Texas, about Diesel, all the kids know him. He's been dead and gone for years, but everybody remembers Diesel. So he made a great impact, not just on our kids, because we had 4. They had tons of friends over here all the time. And so Diesel made an impact on the community here and all the kids in it. So yes, they do make excellent dogs for kids.
Okay, so I have a question that came in before I forget. One viewer wants to know any breathing problems with the narrow nostrils.
Okay, so ideally, we want what we call big, wide open nares. The nares are the nose holes that the air goes in and out of, right? And we want big, wide open nares. And if you zoom in close on our photos or our videos of our dogs, and by the way, that's a great question. That's a question that a responsible owner would ask, especially coming into the warmer months of the year, because dogs don't sweat, okay? Like us as people, we sweat. That is our built-in air conditioning system to keep cool as people, right? Dogs don't do that. They sweat very minimal in their paws, and they do a lot of panting, right? Other than that, they're dependent on their climate to stay cool, breathing and their climate. So the environment that we create is very crucial for them. So like I say, if you look at our videos and you look at our pictures, man, we highly esteem big, wide open nose holes, not the pinched nares, okay? Sometimes in this breed, you have narrower airways that can create problems. That's something that you need to be aware of. There are surgeries that your vet, if he's a bulldog specialist, can perform where they go in and they open up the airways. I just had a conversation with the guy today that was asking about, hey, I have a female. He lives in San Antonio, Texas, and it gets hot and humid in San Antonio. We used to live there. It's very tropical type of environment. And he said, yes, my dog, she's having difficulty breathing, and she was a younger dog. And I said, you may consider that surgery to open up her airways to prevent any kind of a problem. I hope that answers that question. Honey, is there any more?
Oh yeah, and it falls in line with one of the other questions that we have, which is what is the best toy for bulldogs? And one viewer wants to know what is that in your hand, that toy that you
Oh
have
yeah,
right
it's just a
there.
little chew toy. Yeah, you probably know where. So Eva gets all the toys, guys, and this is one that I like. Now it doesn't work great for bigger dogs, like larger bulldogs, because they could probably destroy this in like five minutes flat. But I like it because it's nice and squishy. There's a lot of little prickly things on there that
For
cleans their teeth while they're chewing,
stimulation
and
and
stimulation, and the squeaky is good to get their attention. So yeah, the bigger dogs, they'll chew on it, and when they bite it and squeeze it, it makes a squeaky toy noise. So yeah, where did you get these at, honey?
um wow, I've
Been
gotten
so
them
long.
everywhere. Yeah, it's been so long.
Yeah,
I mean, I've gotten on Amazon. I've gone to pet stores. So
yeah, yeah. Basically, our toy selection, we get them in bulk, guys. With all the dogs that we have 8 dogs right now, sometimes 10. If we have an up and comer, and basically we just do the Google search, read the reviews, we find the highest quality for the best price, and we order in bulk.
yeah.
So next question.
Next question is, are bulldogs good swimmers?
Are bulldogs good swimmers? Very few are. Oh guys, I'm just going to tell you that's a good question. We are coming into summer season. We're coming into a time where there's a lot of water sports going on, but I don't trust, nor do I like dogs around water. So if you have a bulldog, I would strongly recommend getting a life jacket for them, or just being extra on guard. I was with some friends 2 weeks ago, and we had 2 dogs with us. One was a fabulous girl named Cashmere, and then also we had our girl Jewel with us. Both of them were on leashes. It was a brand new environment, and we do not have a swimming pool, guys, here at the house. And our friends do, however. And Cashmere and Jewel, you can see Jewel on our website. She's a gorgeous lilac merle, 2 blue eyes. She's a French bulldog, okay? And Frenchies by nature are a little more athletic than an English bulldog, but both of these dogs, I had them on leash. I had one on leash. My buddy had the other one. And we go out to the swimming pool, and they had never seen a swimming pool. And they just kind of stepped out, and they both went in that direction at the same time. Both of them stepped into the water and went straight to the bottom. Now, they didn't get all the way to the bottom because we had leashes on them, and we both, in a second, snatched them both up and put them on the side of the pool. But, I mean, they just stepped in and just sunk to the bottom. Now, could they have recovered and started swimming? I don't know. I wasn't willing to risk it. But both of these bulldogs were very shocked. It was a surprise, like they had never seen the swimming pool, so they stepped out in it. I think they believed that it was actually like solid, but it wasn't. It was water, so they went straight down. But thankfully, we had leashes on them. Otherwise, I would have been wet because I would have dove in after them. I was not willing to stand there and go, I wonder if they can swim. I wasn't going to put that to test, so to speak. So
We've had several questions on this live
that's
on
fine.
nutrition.
Okay, great.
A lot on nutrition. What are you feeding them? What nutrition do you recommend, especially since they're prone to allergies? So what do you feed? What diet do you feed your bulldogs?
Okay, guys, that's an amazing question, and it's almost a book. I'm right now putting together some feeding regimens. I'll just tell you, because, and I may catch some heat for this, but I'll speak the truth anyway, right? Sometimes you speak the truth, and then you brace yourself for the barrage of comments, right? And that's fine. I'm here to help. We've got a lot of people that need help with nutrition, and it's something that I am a student of. It's something that I do a lot of research on. I feel like at this point in our bulldog career, guys, I think we've got good dogs, and we're going to continue to make good decisions to make quality dogs, because let's be real, the bulldog, honey, it's our product. You know, I don't work for General Motors. I'm not making Cadillacs. You know, I'm not manufacturing aircraft parts, although I used to do that in my career. Our product, what we bring to the table for our consumer, which is you guys, is Bulldogs. And so we want that product to be of the utmost quality, and we're making our breeding decisions to make that happen. And sometimes people misunderstand that. Had a dog, his name is Apollo. He's still alive. He's retired. And I stopped breeding Apollo so much, and I started promoting other dogs. Like I had a dog named Doughboy, and I'm like, guys, Doughboy is the stuff. I had so much of a sample sort of Doughboy puppies, and I recognized that he was a better producer than Apollo. Well, there were people that didn't understand that. I caught some heat, and I will do that gladly because we created better products. We right now have 2 Doughboy daughters. We've got Doughboy grandkids. Doughboy has proven himself to be a great, great producer. So with nutrition, guys, and we don't have the 4 hours that it would require to really expound on this, but I will give you my advice. And this is not just shooting from the hip or doing research or watching, you know, somebody else's expert opinion, guys. Understand, we have been in the trenches with Bulldogs specifically for 27 years. So we've learned a little bit. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've trial and errored a lot of times, but we've learned some things, and I'm happy to share it because if you was on this road of learning and it took you forever to get there, or maybe you never got there, would that be a successful trip? No. But if somebody said, hey, turn left here, turn right there, do this, don't do that, you could get to your destination, a lot quicker and a lot safer. So with nutrition, I want to help you guys do that. So as far as what we are feeding these guys, we have a 50-50 diet, 50% raw and 50% kibble. If you're interested in the kibble that we're feeding, message me. I'll gladly share that. I say it that way, guys, because there are a decent amount of quality kibble, quality dog kibble. Then there's a large amount of what I would consider substandard kibble. Okay, and I don't want to put down one publicly. I don't want to put down one manufacturer and lift up another, because no sooner do I do that, they'll have a recall, right? Because that happens. These are dog food manufacturing facilities. Some things can go extremely right for long, long periods, and then you can have a bad batch all of a sudden. And then someone will come back and say, well, Mike, you said this about that. What I can tell you is raw is better than any manufactured food. Because of that, I recommend to my puppy buyers, to my friends, to everybody that I know that has and loves Bulldogs, this simple formula. All right, so get your piece of paper and your pen and write this down, because I'm serious about this. This will give your dogs amazing coats, amazing health. Your dog will thank you, okay? So if I was going to make a change in my dog's diet, like tomorrow, and it was because my dog has allergies, he just doesn't seem like he's doing well. Just if I wanted to enhance my dog's life, and let me say this, guys, look at it like us. These guys are the same as us in regards to diet. If I eat crappy food, I'm going to look like it. I'm going to feel like it. I'm not going to have the energy that I should have. And I'm not going to live a long, healthy life if I'm just eating at McDonald's 3 times a day, every day. I'm going to look bad. I'm going to feel bad. I'm not going to have the energy. I'm not going to have a good, happy, healthy life. The same rule applies to your dog. So whatever you're doing right now, I want you to just pause and do this. Drop your dog's kibble, whatever it is. And again, I have my preferred kibble that I feed, and we feed our dogs. But whatever you're doing, stop it right now. Cut it in half. Stop feeding him that portion, whatever it is, because you've got a lot of things to consider as far as portions, right? Age, energy level, Body weight. Is your dog intact or not? There's a lot of things to consider in how much to feed. So we're not going to discuss really how much, because that is going to vary from every single dog to the next. The better question is what to feed. So here's my best advice, guys, and this is a great question. You will be hearing me say this a lot in the future. Stop what you're doing with the kibble. Drop it to 50%, one half of what you're feeding now, and pivot and begin feeding him the other 50% in leg quarters. What is a leg quarter? Go to Walmart, go to the grocery store, Albertsons, any grocery store. They sell these 10-pound bags or containers of chicken leg quarters. It's like the thigh and the leg combined. It's a leg quarter, okay? And replace that 50% of that kibble that you stopped feeding, because remember, you cut the kibble to half. Replace it with these chicken leg quarters. How much? 5 ounces for every 10 pounds of dog. Okay, 5 ounces of chicken leg quarters for every 10 pounds of dog. So, and that will be your starting point, guys. After that, you'll just watch and wait for 2 to 4 weeks. Maybe you'll decrease it, the amount of leg quarters. Maybe you'll increase it. Okay, but the rule to start with is 5 ounces for every 10 pounds of dog. So like our average dog here with iambulldognation.com is 50 pounds. So we'll give half of the kibble that we normally would, just on a day-to-day, if that's all they ate was kibble. And you'll replace that with 5 ounces of chicken leg quarters. So if it's a 50-pound dog, 5 ounces for every 10 pounds. So if it's a 50-pound dog, that would be 25 ounces, right? So we're going to cut the kibble in half, and we're going to replace that with 5 ounces of chicken leg quarters for every 10 pounds of dog. So I have a 50-pound dog. I'm going to begin giving them 25 ounces a day of chicken leg quarters. Now, the leg quarters are on the average about 1 pound, which is 16 ounces. Okay, so in leg quarter terminology, and you'll have to weigh them, you'll have to get you a digital scale if you really want to get serious about this.
Yeah, because sometimes the leg quarters vary in size too.
Yeah, the leg quarters vary. Again, it's a starting point. There's no one thing fixes all. Like if you have 2 dogs at home and you're feeding them kibble, one dog probably eats more than the other, right? So there's no, one size fits all. But the starting point is cut your dog's kibble in half and give him, from that point on, 5 ounces of chicken leg quarters that you can get at any grocery store for every 10 pounds. Okay, so if your dog is 20 pounds, how many ounces of chicken leg quarters would that be? 10 ounces. Because we're giving 5 ounces of chicken leg quarters for every 10 pounds of dog. So if it's a 20-pound dog, that's going to be 10 ounces of chicken leg quarter. If it's a 50-pound dog, as our example here with our guys, that's going to be 25 ounces, which is about 1.5 pounds, okay, ish. And the leg quarters, guys, are about 1 pound. So if you really want to dial it in, you can. You don't really have to get super scientific. Look, the whole idea of me helping you is not to make your life more complicated. It's to make it more simple to go by, right? When I mean simple, I mean a healthier dog. Guess what? If you've got a healthier dog, you're going to save a crap load. Am I allowed to say crap load on this channel? Okay. A boogie bunch of money at the vet, because your dog's not going to have the allergies. It's not going to, most allergies are food related, and it's not the ingredients, chicken in the food, it's all the processing. It's all the chemicals that they put in them to keep the food stable so that your dog can eat it. And none of that is really what your dog should be eating. He should be eating raw. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is I'm trying to help you save money, and I'm trying to help your dog live a happier, healthier life, like little Paintball here.
How old is Paintball?
Paintball is about 10 weeks old. We do have his brother. He's available. You can go to our website, iambulldognation.com. Some like his brother Floss better than Paintball. I've chosen Paintball. He's our keeper. He's our future stud. He knows it. And now he's going to go to sleep on it. So yeah, back to the nutrition, guys, because I take it very serious. 5 ounces. Cut the dog's kibble in half. Dog, puppy, cut it in half. 5 ounces for every 10 pounds of the dog's body weight. So a 50-pound dog is going to get 25 ounces, which is about 1.5 pounds of chicken leg quarters. And in addition to that, we want to give him 1 egg, a raw egg, bust it up in his kibble and stir it in 5 days a week. Pretty easy, right? If that's not simple enough and you guys have questions, I'm here to help and elaborate, because let me be clear, guys. Again, I've been doing this so long, it seems easy to me. I could do it with my eyes closed, but if all you've ever done is fed your dog kibble, this seems a little complicated. It seems a little different, right? Seems a little specialized, right? Well, let me tell you, it is. And it's specialized for a purpose. It's because these guys are worth more than just eating crap that's made in a factory.
Yeah. There are no stupid questions on this feed, guys.
Yeah.
There is one viewer that wants to know about the bone.
Okay. In
She
specific.
said you would not feed the bone, right?
Okay. Oh, man. I'm loving it, guys.
Yeah.
This is like the best live ever. I mean, I'm in a zone over here. The bone is indeed important for the dog's diet. It's indeed. Yes, you do feed the bone. Okay? Every part of that chicken leg quarter, and that's why this diet is so simple, guys. You've got the fat, you've got the gristle, you've got the meat, which is the protein, you've got the bone, which is so essential. Cartilage, everything on that chicken leg quarter is of value to the dog. If you look at a dog food bag, you're going to see that they've got bone meal in there. Now, that bone meal in that dog food sack does not have a fraction of the nutritional value that's in the raw chicken bone.
Yeah, you just don't want to cook it. When you cook the bone, that's when it becomes dangerous.
That's why I say the word raw like 500 times whenever I'm talking about nutrition, guys. And again, thank you for the questions, guys. Thank you for being the people that ask the questions. I know what it's like to be on a public forum and ask questions. It's like, oh man, should I ask that question? They're going to think I'm dumb. They're going to call me out. No, I won't, because guess what? 30 years ago, I started where you're at. Everybody starts where you just don't know jack about jack. And the way you learn is you ask questions. And like I say, we made a lot of mistakes over the last 27 years in Bulldogs. I would hope to help prevent you guys from making mistakes. I'm happy to share the information. The bone is only dangerous in these chicken leg quarters, guys, if it is cooked. If you feed your dogs raw, you have no problems. As a matter of fact, a chicken leg quarter is about this big, right? I've heard, oh man, it's your dog's gonna, eat a big piece and it's gonna choke and die. A dog cannot take a big piece like this and swallow it, guys. It has to take this chicken piece and rip a piece off and then swallow it, and then rip another piece off and swallow it. So it's actually a very healthy way to eat the chicken leg quarters if you just leave them raw and leave them whole. Okay? And the question earlier about toys, this is, again, now toys are good. I'm not throwing stones at toys. But this is a man-made chicken leg quarter. You know that wolves in the wild, you guys, their chew toys is that elk or that deer or that rabbit that they bring down and they chew it and they're working it over and they're chewing it and they're pulling it and they're doing all this stuff that our domesticated dogs do. But it's giving them nutritional value at the same time. Mike, what's your point in all that? The chicken leg quarter is going to give your dog stimulation and true joy not just in the food value, which is super duper high compared to any kibble that you can get, but the fun of doing what he's meant to do. Instead of chewing up your $200 heels, ladies, or your $400 cowboy boots, guys, he's going to be chewing up that chicken leg quarter. Okay, so give him that outlet so he's not after your shoes.
Okay. That's a very good answer there.
Well, thank you. I learned everything I know from you, honey.
So another viewer wants to know, she says, my vet wants to put my dog on a special food for allergies. Would you recommend this?
Okay, good question. Don't know the dog. Don't know the vet. From my experience, guys, if your dog has food allergies and it's from a manufactured food, which it probably is, okay, 95% of all food allergies are not from those chicken leg quarters. It's from that manufactured food that's made in a factory somewhere, and they're spitting out these pellets that are given to your dog, and most of that food has just filler in it that's not even fit to do anything for your dog except poop a big old turd, okay, which is what you see in your yard, hopefully not in the house. Mm-hmm. And if your vet is telling you to change from one manufactured food to the other, I'll give you a statistic. 9 times out of 10, that will not fix the problem. It may reduce it somewhat, but look, you're going to be paying a lot more for that specialized food, which I don't mind paying for food if it fixes the problem. But if I'm paying a lot more for this specialized food and the problem is still there, well, the problem's still there. Okay? Mm-hmm. So you jumping from one manufactured food to the other is not the solution. The real solution is in raw, because that is the closest to nature, and the closest to nature is what your dog was born to eat, the closest to nature.
Okay, so real quick, you talked about cutting their current dog food in half and then going on this raw regimen for the other 50%.
Yes.
One viewer wants to know, do you eventually switch them to all raw?
You can. It's a lot more detailed because, guys, oh man, these questions, you're just right up my alley, guys. Who asked that question?
Mrs. Rags.
Mrs. Rags, thank you for asking that question. We need to start addressing these folks, because this is some great questions here. So she asked basically, so you're starting out 50% raw, 50% kibble, switching to raw is the idea to eventually go to 100% raw. Yes, you can. It's a lot more work, and it's not for most people. That's the easy answer, okay? If you have a desire to go 100% raw, you can. It's more work. Not that work is bad, right? I admire someone that does that, but most of our customers and most bulldog people I know, they just want a simple solution to cover most of their dog's health issues. That's the whole reason I kept it that simple. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely, you can go to 100% raw, but let me tell you this. Let me be clear on this, and that is a great... Sorry, I'm wielding this dog bone, or this toy like it's a weapon. Sorry, Mrs. Rags. I was not being upset with you. Let me be clear in this regard. There are essential minerals, vitamins, things in the dog food, in the kibble, that is going to give your dog a more balanced diet when you start introducing raw chicken leg quarters. Because if all your dog eats is raw chicken leg quarters, there is a plethora is just a fancy word for a whole bunch of other ingredients that your dog would be missing out on if you just fed chicken leg quarters. It would be like us if all we ate was fried chicken, right? Well, fried chicken is not necessarily good for you, but if all we ate was Thanksgiving turkey, no green beans, no stuffing, no sweet potatoes, if all we ever ate, week in and week out was Thanksgiving turkey, although it's delicious and it's great for us, we would be missing out on certain nutrients. So you want to have a variety, and if you go 100% raw, you have to provide that variety. Okay, that's a lot deeper dive into the raw regiment than most people want to go. And I want to keep things as simple for you guys as possible for your dog, because we all live busy lives. I hope that answers that question fully. If you need more details, hit me up privately. Be happy to help you.
Okay. One more question here. Nick, he says, how often do you have to deal with flat chest? I just had a litter, and at 2 weeks, one pup had flat chest, and I've treated it with a flat chest ring. How long should I continue to watch this pup?
Okay. That is, Nick, thanks for asking that question. The developers, I cannot remember these folks' names, but they're a fabulous couple. The flat chest ring, they're down in Florida. They're a Cuban couple, and I greatly admire the Cuban people. As a nation, I've never met a Cuban that I don't admire and respect. Just fantastic people. That probably sounds borderline racist or stereotype, but I just love Cuban folks, man. And oh, by the way, I like Cuban food. I like the Cubano sandwich, all of it. Flat chest, that basically you'll have them wear the flat chest ring until their chest cavity starts rounding out. So it could take a week or two. It might take 3. And of course, I know that you know this, Nick. You probably got the package that has different sizes. So as the dog is growing, you can change up to the bigger size. But yeah, in most cases, 3 to 4 weeks, in answer to your question.
Okay. Well,
We had some other questions.
Nope, that's it.
That's it. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, you could have been anywhere tonight. You could have been watching Leave It to Beaver reruns. You decided to come on the I Am Bulldog Nation. We're here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, to answer your questions. Thank you. Hey, buddy. You did so good.